Welcome back. I'm Mike with Dan's Homestead, and this is Jacob. We are going to be doing a video on how we restore early 1900s antiques. This one here, as you can see pictured, has a lot of issues. We couldn't find the exact model of this one, but found some similar to the early 1900s, mid 30s. So we are going to start disassembling it and use some stripper and go from there. So we're going to take the drawers out. We got most of the hardware. We're missing some. We're going to try to see if we can match up one of these. I do have some old hardware around. See if we can find something close to this, or get online and see if we can find something. The drawers seem to be in pretty good shape up top. These doors, you can see there's got a twist to them. We're going to see if we can save them by steaming them and heating them back up, and we'll do a video on that as we're doing that. These pull-outs inside here are pretty twisted. We're just going to totally rebuild these. The fronts, we'll use that as a template. We'll probably do black walnut for the faces, and then just do a pine or maybe a maple interior. And I'm probably going to put drawer guides in there if they actually slide out properly without getting bound up and ruining the finish. These drawers seem to be in fair shape. I think we can just strip them down, restain them, refinish it, maybe a little bit of glue on the dovetails there. But other than that, all in all, it's pretty good shape. If I'm in that good a shape when I'm that old, I'll feel like $1 million.
And how much did we buy this for?
I think we got it for $100 if I remember right. When they wanted $200 for it, and I believe I got it for $100. So we're gonna refinish it, and as long as my wife tells me we can sell it, we'll sell it. But I have a feeling that she's probably got a place in the house to put that. So stay tuned for that video.
Could you not push through the backside? I mean, is there enough lid on there?
See, there's not a hole.
Oh,
see,
okay.
All it is a key slot for the
hardware
mechanism itself. You just work at it. Take your time. No rush. And the way we're gonna do this one, I've done it both ways. A lot of times I'll just sand it, the veneer real lightly, and get the finish off and penetrate the stain a little bit. And then a lot of times I'll use a stripper, which we're gonna use a spray stripper this time. I don't always do that. I've had trouble with the veneer popping on me, but we got a lot of details on this that I'm going to use mainly on that. The drawers we might do a little bit different, but we'll just kind of play it by ear and see how things go. The inside of the drawers we're just going to lightly sand and we'll recoat them and finish them, but it's the fronts of the drawers. And you can see that there's a veneer here and here, probably hard to see on the camera. But yeah, that's what our plan is. So. Using a scrubber pad helps get the stickiness off and into the delicate details instead of trying to use a scraper. Sometimes you got to use a pick to get a lot of the gumbo stuff up around the edges. I said gumbo. It's about as sticky as a gumbo.
Show the wonderful camera people.
Huh?
You can show the wonderful camera how good the can looks.
Oh yeah. Had this for a while, could you tell?
You can't read it, but it does say dark walnut. So that's the stain of choice.
I'd use like a scrub brush or something like that, but I'm kind of scared I'd break the flowers and leaves off of this detail, and so I'm just kind of doing it a little at a time. Just do a quick, you can do a wet sand or just a dry sand, it don't really matter. Wet sand you would do if you have a lot more you need to really get off that's rough.
What grit are you using?
I'm using about a 1200, I believe that's what this one is, yeah, 1200. And I mean, it's, you know, don't need nothing aggressive because it's a very thin finish. Take your time putting that lacquer on, and you don't have much you have to touch up. Up in the corners, I don't care how good you are, you're going to have that. But on your main body of it, you shouldn't have much to do. Unless you get in a hurry, and like I do sometimes, and you're pissed off at yourself. You got to do a lot of sanding.
You're telling me you don't enjoy hand sanding?
Oh, I enjoy it just about as much as I do a chapped ass. You know, real good.
So, are there any tips and tricks on getting in that detail in there?
Well, on staining, you know, just use a throwaway brush, get it in there, and then use a rag and either like a 5-in-1 tool with points where you can drag it through there and kind of get the accessible stain out of it. And lacquer in, you brush it. Just make sure you have a thin coat on your brush, and then go over it, and then make sure you got some good lighting for you. If you have it running, you can brush it out again.
Okay.
That's my trick. And spraying, you just take your time. Don't overlay too much, because lacquer, you get it running, and it's a pain in the butt to get that sanded out. There it is. Now we'll put another coat on it. We're gonna, instead of trying to save them drawers that were warped, we're going to build new ones. And I'm going to be taking these old wooden drawer guides out and put full extension ball bearing drawer guides in. So we're going to mill us down some lumber to get the face frames built. All right, we're going to glue our drawer fronts together. We didn't have quite enough material to do what I wanted to, which you're better off not to try to make it all in one piece, the less warping possible when you put a couple together. Gives it more of a strength, keep it from twisting and bowing up. You want to give it plenty of glue, but I'll probably give it just a little bit too much. We'll show here on the squeeze out. Nothing wrong with squeeze out as long as you ain't crazy with it. You don't want a ton of pressure on them. You get them to cup. Just enough for good squeeze out like that there. And you can either leave that and let it set for, depending on the temperature, 15-20 minutes, and you can take a chisel or a putty knife and peel it off, or you can take a wet rag and wipe it off. It's all in what you prefer. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it off. The next one we'll leave, and I'll show you kind of what it does when it's set up. Supposed to do. Shit happens though. You don't always get it, you smear it a lot of times, but you can always get it off. Just takes a little bit of work. You can use a chisel or a putty knife, 5-in-1 tool, whatever you choose, but it peels it up about 20-30 minutes worth of setting. Like I said, it depends on the temperature, but you can get most of it up without having a big problem. are going to rip down the drawer material. First one we'll be doing is 7 3/4, and then second one's 5 3/4 and 3 3/4. This will be for the carcass of the drawer. All right, this drawer's showing 15 3/8. We're gonna be taking these old wooden rails out and put some ball bearings in. So I can go a little bit deeper. These are 18-inch full extension drawer guides. So we're gonna make our carcass 18 inches. That gives us a 1/2 inch in the back, and our face will hit right here on the edge. So we'll do that now. These are the sides of the drawers. We are going to cut the front and backs of the drawers. We have to add these together like that, which would be a 7 inch and 7/16. We're going to subtract from the total width of the cabinet here, which is 28 and 7/16. So we've got to subtract the inch and 7/16 plus another inch for drawer guides. So that's going to make our front and backs 26 inches long. We'll do that now. All right, what we're doing now is this is our face frames to our drawers. I told you earlier that we're going to rebuild, so we're hanging this over a 1/2 inch on each side for the cabinet over there. So then we're just using this to trace out to get the same kind of, come over here, same kind of design that's here. So I got that traced out. We're gonna cut them out with a jigsaw. So all right, guys, see this veneer right here? Kind of peeled up. We're going to use some dark CA glue and see if we can get it to lay down. Well, we got that to lay down. Gotta sand off around a little bit. We can get a touch-up coat on, lacquer on it. Maybe a little bit of touch-up stain. Looks like first. Not too bad. Used a needle to lay that down. It ain't perfect, but it's better than sticking up. If you guys can see that or not. All right, we're gonna get these drawers glued together. We're just doing butt joints on this. Then we're doing 3/4. We're gonna glue it and pin it, so be plenty strong. Got a pretty cool project going to be coming out after this video. I think everybody's going to kind of like. If there's something you guys would like us to build, let us know, and we'll see what we can do to get it done. We can build a prototype or whatever. I'm sure we can make it work. I know in my shop tour video I mentioned my dad, that picture of him holding my son Jacob, which is my cameraman / helper. He loved carpenter work. He loved doing it. And my granddad, his daddy, was a carpenter and a fireman. I love doing it, enjoy it. Wish I had more time to do more of it, but that's just part of it, I guess. Yeah, me and my dad were in business for a while together until his health got bad. We built several homes together. I sure miss doing that. I tell you, if you guys are getting to work with your dad or have a chance to work with your dad, no matter how much they might make you mad, just the few memories that you can get from that is worth every ounce of anger you had for whatever happened during the day. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I'm pretty blessed to get to work with my son and youngest daughter in our construction company, which I mentioned in the first video. Feel pretty blessed. If you guys have any questions, please comment. We will get back to you. I didn't explain earlier, you guys can see we've got extra pieces for every drawer. I was going to make it a full carcass and then put the drawer front on there. But I changed my mind because then it'd be thicker where my notches here for the pull out. We'd have this piece behind here, which I mean, no big deal, cut it out. But I just figured I liked it without it there better, so I decided not to do it. I'll end up, we've been doing lacquer. I like lacquer on the old furniture. I think it looks really good. I did change my mind, and I mentioned that we were going to do probably dark walnut for these drawer fronts, but I decided we had some poplar, and it looked, I like the way it did the stain with that walnut, so that dark walnut stain. Gives it a little contrast from the original part of it. More importantly, the boss lady liked it, so that's what I went with. Use 1.5 inches to put the faces on and the main body of the carcass. Use 1.25 inch brads to put the bottom in the drawers. And there's the third one. In right now. Get the drawer installed, make sure it's going to operate properly. In case we have to do some adjusting, I won't have all the screws to take out, just have a couple. Okay guys, so I got to take this drawer guide back off, which you can see here, right back there. This wood right here is past this spacer. I didn't catch it, so I'm going to have to notch out with a chisel here, here, and here to get my drawer guide over. I didn't catch that earlier when I was installing it, so I'll get that fixed and show you what we got. Okay guys, we got that mess fixed. I'll see if I can get you in here and you can see it. So, see where I notched it out right there, right up here on that one, and up on that one. So, see how she fits this time. Not too bad. Not too bad. Well, I won't bore you with the rest of it. I'll get the other two put in and then I'll show you a video. Well guys, after about 350 cuss words and calling it a lop-eared son of a bitch about 12 times, I finally got all the drawer guides set and drawers in. I think it looks pretty slick. I love the contrast of the two different wood colors. So we are gaining. Gonna take them out, get the finish put on them, and then we like the drawer or the door fronts. We are still working on them, so stay tuned. So the doors are fucked on the antique we're doing, so we're just gonna build our own. Gonna make them out of some AC plywood. Prep it down to approximate size and then finish it up on the table saw. Got a piece of foam down here so I can just lay it and cut it directly on the foam. Makes it pretty handy. Still want to make sure you set your depth to just barely going through the piece of wood that you're dealing with.
What are you cutting?
Get into the actual size now.
Oh.
The first cut I just did on here was the width of the doors. Now I'm getting the height of the doors. All right, we're gonna route her out for our hinges to recess down in the doors that we're building new. So I'll show you how I do that. So what I got on here is a fence to stop on my depth so I don't go too far in, before my hinge will set properly, like that. If I go all the way through, then you'll see that hinge from the back side. So I went 3/16 deep. Now I'll finish it up with a chisel. Y'all don't make fun of my baby hammer. I love this thing. I used to build a lot of cabinets and it worked very good inside them cabinets. You had some weight to it. Didn't have to have a big framing hammer in there. Perfect. Can't believe that. 2 in a row. Well, I'm gonna trash the other 2. All right, we're gonna get these doors we got built stained for and get this project finished up. We can get on to the next one. You guys be sure to share, like, and subscribe. It helps us to keep going on and doing other projects. And like I said earlier in the video, you guys have an idea you want to see us do, put it in the comments. We'll see if we can get it done for you. Wiping off the stain when you think you're officially done, before you lay it down, make sure you don't leave glove fingerprints on there, because I've done it, it'll happen. When you're using a rag to wipe it off, get the majority of it off, and then try to get you a little bit better spot, which this one's pretty much covered up, but ain't got a bunch of stain on it. And what I do is go with the grain. That way, your rag, if you don't, if you're going like this, you can leave a swirl of stain in there when it's dry, and then you might not see it until you go to put the finish on, and that's when that swirl will pop up on you. I've had that happen too. So then you're trying to sand that crap off, and then you're having a moment and wanting to call it a lop-eared sumbitch and everything else because you weren't paying attention to what you were doing. So learn from my mistakes. Don't do what I do half the time. There that is. Let that dry and we'll get our lacquer on and get them installed. Alright, we're going to put the knobs on, or the pulls on rather. We're going to center it up and down, and then we're going to come over 1.5 inches from the edge of the door. Use your center punch, it works a lot better to start your drill bit. Then what I do is I do a smaller bit and drill all the way through. And then I go to the size I need and I drill part way through the front side and part way through the back, because then you don't have your blowout. And if you do, it's not near as bad. Just like that. Well, we lost the battle. So now it's new piece of furniture in the house. So here are the drawers we have to totally rebuild. We have to still level it and shim it a little bit. I think it turned out really good. Drawers. Bottom drawers. We'll have a total of what we spent on it, money-wise and time-wise, and give you guys an idea of what something like this would cost you to have refinished, or for you to refinish it, and what you could get out of it. We'll put that in the screen here, somewhere in this area. We'll put the notes wherever that tech man wants to put it.
So the tech man decided to put it over a final picture of this.
So anyway, thanks for watching, and if you would, like always, please share, subscribe. Please comment if you have any questions or anything. We'd be glad to answer them. Thank you.